What spirits say. Exploring the eternal journey of the soul through knowledge, reflection, and love. Join us, and let the light of Spiritism guide your understanding. The spiritual world. First of all, what are spirits? This is a basic and extremely important question, and nothing answers this question better than this excerpt from the Spirit's book. Question 76. What definition can be given of spirits? It can be said that spirits are the intelligent beings of creation. They populate the universe outside the material world. From this we deduce that we are incarnate spirits, that is, we are living within the material world and subject to its laws, restrictions, and limitations. Each incarnate human being is in essence a spirit who came to submit to the experiences of denser material life, and, if the natural paths are followed, after the time allotted for these experiences in the physical world has elapsed, the spirit returns to its place of origin, the spiritual plane, through disincarnation, or more commonly known as death. Nature of the spiritual world. The spiritual world is the true home of all beings, where life continues beyond the material plane. It is composed of different levels of vibration, each corresponding to the moral and intellectual progress of its inhabitants. Far from being abstract or vague, it is an organized and living universe, governed by divine laws that maintain harmony and justice. It is the realm of causes, while the material world is only the realm of effects, the transitory reflection of this greater and eternal reality. The state of the spirit after death. At the moment of physical death, the spirit detaches from its body, keeping the perispirit, its semi-material envelope. This transition reveals the inner condition of each being. Pure and serene spirits experience peace, while those attached to matter or vice suffer confusion and anxiety. There is no arbitrariness. Each soul awakens in a moral atmosphere of its own creation, naturally drawn to the regions that resonate with its thoughts, desires, and affections, continuing its journey according to divine justice. The perispirit and its condition. The perispirit is the subtle, semi-material body that connects the soul to the physical form. It preserves individuality after death and serves as an instrument of perception, expression, and communication in the spiritual dimension. Its density and luminosity vary according to moral purity. Elevated spirits radiate light and harmony, while imperfect ones remain surrounded by heavy and dark fluids. Through the perispirit, the spirit acts upon matter, manifests in apparitions, and carries the impressions of its past, which shape its appearance and sensitivity. Locomotion and appearance. In the spiritual world, movement is governed by thought and will. The spirit, freed from material constraints, can move with extraordinary speed, being instantly present wherever its thought is directed. Its appearance reflects its inner nature. Serene and luminous beings radiate beauty and harmony, while troubled or impure spirits show deformation or obscurity. This appearance is not fixed but fluidic, adapting to the spiritual and moral vibration of each being, revealing outwardly the state of conscience within. Spiritual environments and regions. The spiritual world is composed of numerous regions or spheres, ranging from dark and suffering zones to luminous and peaceful realms. These planes are not separated by physical boundaries but by the moral and vibratory nature of their inhabitants. The lower regions host imperfect spirits bound by selfishness and vice, while the higher ones welcome those who live in wisdom, love, and service. Between these extremes lie transitional zones and colonies dedicated to instruction, work, and moral rehabilitation, true schools of the soul. Activity, work, and social life of spirits. Life in the spiritual world is active and organized. Spirits work, learn, and collaborate in tasks of assistance, progress, and creation. The higher the spirit, the more its work is oriented toward love and service. In intermediate regions, activities include moral education, preparation for reincarnation, and helping newly disincarnated souls. There are centers of study, administration, and fraternity, forming a vast social structure where every task, from the simplest to the most sublime, contributes to the universal harmony. Perception and communication between spirits. Communication in the spiritual world is direct, intuitive, and transparent. Thought and feeling are immediately perceived without the need for words, as the Perispirit transmits emotions and intentions in radiant currents. Spirits of similar moral and mental condition attract one another, forming groups and communities by affinity. The higher spirits communicate through vibration and light, while those still in ignorance use more limited and imperfect means. This natural exchange reflects the law of affinity and the universal connection of consciousness. Quick pause. If you're finding this interesting, please hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss the next episode. And hey, if something here sparks a question or personal experience, drop it in the comments below. I read them all. Societies and affectionate bonds. Spiritual societies arise from affinities of thought and feeling. Families, friendships, and bonds of affection continue beyond the grave, often stronger and purer than in earthly life. Spirits with shared ideals unite to work together, study, and advance. In superior regions, these associations form true communities of love and wisdom, guided by mutual respect and moral cooperation. Even in lower zones, sympathy and solidarity persist as seeds of hope that will one day lead every soul to the same luminous unity. Sensations, happiness, and suffering. Pleasure and pain in the spiritual world are inner states, produced by the spirit's moral condition. The pure experience harmony, expansion, and joy. The imperfect feel unrest, darkness, and moral isolation. Suffering is never punishment, but a consequence that educates and purifies. Happiness increases with virtue, knowledge, and useful work. There are no arbitrary rewards or penalties, only the exact reflection of one's own conscience, shaped by past choices and intentions. Thus, divine justice operates naturally through the laws of cause and effect. Government and spiritual hierarchy. The spiritual world is organized under divine order, not tyranny. Hierarchy arises from moral advancement and wisdom, not from privilege. Superior spirits guide and assist the less evolved with patience and love, acting as mentors, governors, and protectors. Each region has its administration suited to its moral level, forming a vast system of cooperation and service. Authority there is synonymous with responsibility, and greatness is measured by one's capacity to love, enlighten, and serve others in the name of the Creator. Time and spatial perception. Time and space in the spiritual world do not obey the same measures as in material life. Without the constraints of the body, the spirit experiences duration through the rhythm of its thoughts and emotions. For elevated beings, time seems fluid and harmonious. For suffering spirits, it may appear slow and oppressive. Distance can be reduced or eliminated through the power of will and mental projection. Everything is governed by vibration and affinity, making the universe simultaneously vast and intimately connected. Progressive transformations. Every spirit evolves through the successive experiences of life, gradually shedding its imperfections. The spiritual world serves as both resting place and school, where lessons are assimilated and intentions purified. Progress results from effort, study, and love, and no one is condemned to stagnation. Through free will and divine mercy, every being can ascend from ignorance to enlightenment. Reincarnation is the bridge that allows this growth, linking material and spiritual life in one continuous and eternal process. The role of superior spirits. Superior spirits are messengers of divine wisdom and goodness. They illuminate the paths of humanity, inspiring justice, peace, and moral transformation. They preside over the organization of the invisible world, guide the reincarnation of souls, and sustain moral order throughout the universe. Their influence is constant yet discreet, respecting free will while gently leading others toward the good. They are living examples of perfection in progress, the reflection of divine thought in action, working ceaselessly for universal harmony. Transition between spheres. Movement between spiritual regions depends on the moral vibration of each being. A spirit ascends naturally according to its inner light, which attracts it to compatible environments. This transition is not imposed but results from spiritual maturity and purification. Many spirits undergo temporary trials, learning and redeeming before rising to higher spheres. Thus, progression in the invisible world follows the same law that governs reincarnation, the continuous ascent toward wisdom and love under divine justice. Purpose of spiritual life. The spiritual world reveals the ultimate goal of existence, the evolution of the soul toward perfection and union with God. Each experience, material or immaterial, is a step in this journey of learning and moral refinement. Suffering transforms into wisdom, and love becomes the creative force of the universe. Spiritual life is not rest, but continuous progress in harmony, knowledge, and fraternity. Through countless lives and efforts, every spirit will one day achieve full consciousness of truth and divine unity. Conclusion. The spiritual world, according to Spiritism, is the true and eternal dimension of life, the realm of causes where souls evolve through successive experiences. Spirits inhabit different regions that reflect their moral and vibratory state, living, learning, and working in a structured society governed by divine laws of justice and progress. Guided by superior spirits and linked through bonds of love, each being advances through purification and knowledge, moving naturally between spheres. The ultimate goal of spiritual life is the perfection of the soul and its conscious union with God through wisdom, love, and service. Before we finish, if you'd like to know more about Allan Kardec and his extraordinary work of codifying Spiritism, there's a remarkable biography written by Henri Sauce, originally a commemorative address that later became the official account of Kardec's life. You'll find all the details and the link to the book in the video description below. If this message touched you or helped you see Spiritism in a new light, please take a moment to support this channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with others who might feel the same connection. And if you wish to contribute in a more direct way, you'll also find information below on how to make a spontaneous donation through PayPal or international transfer. Every act of support, no matter how small, helps me continue spreading these teachings of light and hope. Thank you for being here, for listening with an open heart, and for helping keep the spirit of Kardec alive through understanding, compassion, and truth. Until next time.